I'm sorry, John, but we need you to leave the company. The HR director's words still echoed in my head as I walked out of the office. My name is John, and I have been working full-time at a grocery store. Due to the store's financial struggles over the past few years, they had to cut personnel costs through massive downsizing. And that day, I was laid off. Jobless and feeling dejected, I slowly pedaled my bicycle home. I didn't even feel like cooking dinner. Although it was a bit of a detour, I considered picking up a takeaway burger, so I took a less traveled back street off the main road. As I neared the burger shop, I noticed an elderly lady sitting on the ground. Concerned, I hopped off my bike and ran over. "Are you okay?" I asked. She had fallen and hurt her leg. She couldn't get up on her own and was in distress since there was no one around to help. "Sorry about this, but could you give me a hand? Without something to hold on to, it's hard to get up." Despite grimacing in pain, it seemed she could walk with a limp. I quickly gathered her scattered groceries and put them back in her bag. "Good thing nothing here looks broken or crushed," I said. "Thank you so much, you're a lifesaver," she replied. As we talked, I took a proper look at her face for the first time. "Wait a minute, aren't you that guy from the store?" she asked. It suddenly clicked. This elderly lady was a regular customer at the grocery store where I worked. Recognizing a familiar face seemed to put her at ease, and she looked relieved. She tried to take the grocery bags from me, but it was clear she couldn't carry them and walk. I asked if there was anyone who could come pick her up, but she said no one was at home at this time of day. Worried she might fall again, I decided to carry her bags and accompany her home. "I'm so sorry, John. Thank you," she said, holding onto my arm as we walked slowly together. "If you could lead me to a handrail, I'll be fine from there." "Thanks so much for helping," she added, apologizing repeatedly. I reassured her with a smile that it was no trouble at all. "You really are kind. You always serve customers with a smile at the store, which makes me very happy," she said. Her kind words touched me, but they also made me feel a bit conflicted. That feeling turned into a faint laugh. "You seem a bit down. Everything okay?" she asked, occasionally glancing at my face. "Well, actually today was my last day at the store." "Oh dear, were you transferred or did you find another job?" she asked. I honestly told her that I'd been laid off. As we chatted, we arrived at her house. A slightly large single-family home with stylish flower beds on both sides of the walkway leading to the entrance. Garden lights illuminated our path as we walked slowly towards the front door. "You can put everything down here. That bag must have been heavy. I'm truly grateful that you passed by." "Thank you," she said. Noticing a step leading to the front door, I worried she might fall again. "If you don't mind, I can carry it inside for you," she replied with a pleased look. "Well then, I might just accept your kind offer." After I finished carrying the bag inside, she offered me some tea as a token of appreciation. Just then, her cell phone rang. "Oh, it's Ashley. Please excuse me for a moment," she apologized and took the call, updating the person on the other end about the situation. "There's no need to rush. Could you pick up some lunch?" Yes, that sounds good. Thanks, dear." She hung up the phone and turned to me. "That was my granddaughter. She said she'll be home soon." Hearing that, I felt relieved and thought about leaving. "Wait, Ashley is bringing lunch. It's getting late, and she said she's getting lunch for you too. I think she's already picked it up from the deli. Please, can you at least accept that from us?" she pleaded. Hesitating for a moment, I decided to graciously accept her kind offer. I was invited to sit, and we made small talk until Ashley returned. The elderly lady began talking about Ashley. Ashley's parents passed away in a car accident when she was still young. Unfortunately, both were involved in the accident. Since then, it's just been the two of us living together. Ashley has grown up, but she stays with me, always worrying about me. It's clear how caring and gentle she is, always putting me first. Every day after work, she comes straight home without any jitters. She sighed, expressing her concerns. "I'm worried that Ashley isn't dating and wish she'd think about her own happiness soon. She probably can't leave the house because she's worried about me. You know, I'd be thrilled if a kind person like you marry her. Oh, speaking of which, would you consider marrying my granddaughter? She really is a wonderful girl and quite clever." This turn of events was absolutely unexpected. Her sudden proposal threw me off, and the tender feelings I felt earlier flew right out the window. It made me think, is being offered a marriage proposal a common thing in the service industry? I'd been approached with the "how about my daughter" line at the supermarket before, And I'd heard my female coworkers getting the "be my son's bride" line. It's always awkward when someone says that. All you can really do is laugh it off. Suddenly, I heard a voice from the entrance. "I'm home." I figured Ashley must have returned and got up from my seat. As I turned toward the door, there she was, just entering the room. "Hi, I hope I'm not bothering you," I said. "I'm so sorry for the trouble. It seems my grandma has been in your care. Thank you so much." She looked apologetic, but I was captivated by her appearance. Ashley was in her office uniform, her hair pulled back, and she was strikingly fair-skinned with bright eyes. She had a gentle vibe, seeming like such a kind soul. I just kept bowing my head, slightly losing my words in front of her. The elderly lady turned to Ashley, chattering away with a happy gleam in her eyes. "Welcome home. This gentleman here, he's the cashier from the grocery store. I always visit the store, and I'm so glad such a kind soul was there to help me out. So Ashley, what do you think of him? He's genuinely a great guy. Seems like Grandma brought home a potential suitor for you," the elderly lady said, her face beaming with joy as she placed a hand over her mouth. Seeing her grandmother so happy, Ashley responded with a confused tone. "What are you talking about?" "I mean, he could be your future husband," her grandmother replied. Upon hearing that, I was taken aback, wondering if her earlier comment was really just a joke. Ashley was just as surprised and flustered. "Grandma, what are you saying? It's rude to say that about someone I've just met. I'm so sorry," Ashley apologized. "Oh dear, I've met him several times before," her grandmother said, chuckling. I couldn't help but laugh. "You two really seem close," I commented. Ashley, with an apologetic look, thanked me for the day and handed me a packed lunch. Knowing she had bought one for me, I gratefully accepted it. "Why don't you eat it now?" the elderly lady asked. Ashley intervened. "I don't think that's fine with him," and I decided to decline her offer. I expressed my gratitude, and Ashley and I headed towards the entrance. As I put on my shoes and looked back, the elderly lady was limping over to send me off. "Thank you so much. I'm sorry for keeping you up late, and I apologize for not expressing my gratitude properly. Feel free to visit next time," she said. "Not at all. Thank you for the lunch," I responded, feeling warm-hearted by their kindness. I perceived her words as polite social etiquette, but they still warmed my heart. Just as I was about to open the door and leave, the elderly lady spoke up. "That's right. If it's not too much trouble, could you come over again tomorrow? With this leg, I might not be able to manage." Apparently, she had arranged a delivery of plants and saplings for her garden, but worried she might not be able to do the job properly with her injured leg. As she spoke, Ashley seemed confused. "That's too much, Grandma. You're acting weird today. Are you okay? You didn't hit your head, did you? Let me check if you have any injuries." "I didn't hit my head at all. It's just my foot that hurts," the elderly lady reassured her. Ashley seemed genuinely concerned, checking her grandmother's head for any injuries and asking if anywhere else hurt. I was surprised too, but since I was jobless and had no plans for tomorrow, I decided to help if needed. If she needs help, I have plenty of time. "Should I come over tomorrow? Only if it's not a bother," I asked. Ashley hesitated, apologizing, but in the end, we agreed I'd visit in the afternoon. The next day, as promised, I went to the elderly lady's place. "Thank you so much. You're a lifesaver," she said. While she sat on a small chair, she taught me how to care for the garden. We both enjoyed the moment, and during that time, she shared an interesting story. Ashley was working full-time in an office, but she had always dreamed of opening a cafe since she was little. She had even graduated from culinary school and had experience working part-time in restaurants during her college days. However, she chose to be an office worker. Owning a cafe or working full-time in one would mean working from morning until late at night, but she still wanted to open a cafe. The reason the elderly lady mentioned me being a potential spouse for Ashley was because she thought if there was someone skilled in customer service, Ashley could start her cafe confidently. Plus, she genuinely felt that Ashley and I might get along well. The day after hearing that, I went over to the elderly lady's house again. After replanting some flowers yesterday, there was some space left, so I decided to buy more plants to fill it. It was Saturday, and it seemed Ashley had a day off. She was quite surprised to see me. "Goodness, Grandma, did you ask him to come again today? I hope it's not too much trouble." "I'm really sorry," she said upon seeing me. I briefly explained the circumstances of my visit today. After planting the additional flowers and watering them, Ashley kindly offered, "Why don't you take a break? Sitting on the porch, the three of us sipped on our coffee. Then, the elderly lady cleared her throat softly and said, "Hey, Ashley, I really want you to achieve your dreams soon." What do you mean? Ashley tried to play it off with a tilted smile. "I don't want you to hold back just for me. I know you're still planning a lot of things," the elderly lady revealed, explaining that she knew how Ashley secretly jots down numerous notes in preparation for her dream. "It'd be tough to do it alone, but maybe with someone else's help, it'd be easier. John here is great with customers. How about getting some help from him?" "Oh, Grandma, you can't just say things so easily," Ashley replied, a slight teariness in her eyes. "If Ashley's okay with it, I love dealing with customers, but I know trusting an unemployed guy is a hard thing," I said. "No way, John. I love the way you handle your customers. You'd be a great partner for Ashley," the elderly lady said without missing a beat, making both Ashley and me chuckle. "Oh, Grandma, always acting wild on your own," Ashley playfully remarked. We laughed, lightening the mood, but soon after, Ashley's expression changed and she seemed deep in thought, biting her lip. Maybe Grandma is right. Maybe now's the time to start," Ashley murmured as if speaking to herself. Though she seemed uncertain, Ashley mentioned she would reflect on it for a day. The following Sunday, I went over to the elderly lady's house again. Her legs seemed to be improving, so I thought this might be my last day helping out. As I was working in the garden with the elderly lady, Ashley approached me. "Can I talk to you for a sec?" she asked, holding a notebook and preparing coffee on the porch. "It's a little embarrassing, but can you take a look?" She handed over the notebook she had been gripping tightly. Flipping through the pages, I saw they were filled with writing, drawings of an ideal cafe's exterior, food illustrations, and countless recipes. "This is amazing," I exclaimed. "I've been thinking about opening a cafe. I really want to do what I love," Ashley said, looking a bit shy but with her eyes sparkling. When Ashley thought about doing it on her own, she was worried about being completely tied down to the business and concerned about her grandma being home alone. But she thought that if someone could be with her, it might ease some of that stress. Ashley mentioned she had seen me working at the grocery store and recalled my good customer service skills. "If it's not too much trouble, could you join me? I know it's a bit shameless of me to ask." The idea of becoming a cafe employee wasn't something I had taken seriously. I never expected her to actually ask. But seeing Ashley's passion in her notes and my own desire to work in customer service again, combined with my urge to try something different, I felt the spark. "If you're okay with me, let's do this together," I said, holding my hand out to Ashley. Ashley looked surprised but then gave a joyful smile. We shook hands firmly. "Oh, thank goodness," she exclaimed, shaking my hand vigorously. She was genuinely happy. "Shall we open up our own cafe?" she asked excitedly. "Let's go for it." I matched her enthusiasm and responded cheerfully. From that day on, Ashley and I exchanged contact information, communicated through emails, and discussed things at her home. We looked at vacant store spaces together and consulted with contractors. Ashley steadily progressed with the preparations and I supported her throughout. In addition, I began a morning part-time job until the cafe was set up. Although I had some savings, I thought it would be a good idea to earn a bit more for daily expenses since I had the time. 6 months later, the cafe opened. We found a perfect little vacant shop and with some renovations, we were ready to start. On the opening day, the place was bustling with neighbors, friends, and people who had seen our flyers. After closing on the grand opening day, we held a celebratory gathering, with the elderly lady joining in too. "Thank you, John, for making this dream come true with me," Ashley said. "No, I should be the one thanking you," I replied. "See, I knew my intuition about you was right." "Must be fate," the elderly lady chimed in. Honestly, fate and destiny might be more real than I thought. The day I was laid off from my job, I helped an elderly lady and met her granddaughter, Ashley. Now, I'm working beside Ashley to run her dream cafe. You see, John, it wasn't in vain, right? You might have been down that day, thinking about why you've been working all this time, but now your warm hospitality is shining. It all had a purpose. And of course, it's also because you're such a good person, right, Ashley? Grandma found a keeper, didn't she? The elderly lady said, and both Ashley and I exchanged shy smiles. It reminds me of the old days, looking at Ashley's parents, she added, a distant look in her eyes. Ashley was taken aback by those words and looked at her grandmother's face. "Ashley, you look like your mom and have a fine charm like her. John, You have that gentle aura just like my son. Ashley was so young back then that I don't think she remembers. Ashley and I both nodded, feeling a deep connection to the memories and the new journey we were embarking on together. As we stood in awe, Ashley and I exclaimed in surprise, "What?" It turned out that Ashley's parents used to run a coffee shop right at the very spot where our cafe now stood. The elderly lady realized this when she visited the store after its renovation was completed. She was so shocked that she was left speechless. Later, when she got home and went to her room, her emotions finally caught up with her, and she broke down crying. She thought about telling Ashley right away, but she decided to keep it quiet until the store officially opened. She wanted Ashley, who was passionately chasing her dream, to be able to build the store freely without any disruptions. As the interior progressed steadily, the elderly lady was even more astounded by how Ashley's taste mirrored her parents'. Whether she had been told earlier or not, it would have made no difference. Then, unexpectedly, the elderly lady handed Ashley a startup fund. It turned out to be the life insurance money from Ashley's parents that Grandma had carefully saved just for her. With teary eyes, the elderly lady said she was sure Ashley's parents would be delighted to have been able to support Ashley's dream. The sunflowers displayed in the shop, John suggested decorating with them, didn't he? He said they perfectly matched Ashley's vibe. You know, my son once told Ashley's mom the same thing. It's truly mysterious. It might not have been a coincidence, but destiny, the elderly lady said with a smile. Her words stirred emotions in me like never before. All three of us managed to smile and wipe away our tears. Suddenly, she exclaimed, clapped her hands, and leaned forward. Now, you two. Don't you have something important to discuss? Got something to tell your old granny? She teased, causing both Ashley and me to blush. Oh my, was I early? Haven't you told her yet? I've known for a while. She burst into laughter again. Well, I should just leave you two alone, she grinned, heading to the back room. Left alone, Ashley and I awkwardly looked at each other and shared a shy smile. But this was it, now or never. On would you? I started. Oh, what? Ashley blurted out. That was when we officially started dating. Time flew by, and thanks to everyone's support, our cafe thrived. Our whole grain bread and vegetable-rich sandwiches for breakfast became a hit, recommended for being low in sugar and calories. Ashley and I got along very well, both in the kitchen and in the dining area. About 3 months into our relationship, we started discussing marriage. On our cafe's first anniversary, we officially registered our marriage. When we broke the news to Grandma, she cried tears of joy. After getting married, the three of us lived in Grandma's house. You're newlyweds. Why not live on your own? She suggested, but we felt safer and, above all, happier living with her. Thanks to that decision, every day is filled with smiles. We hope to continue living in this happiness and harmony.